You've truly confused people. They try to categorize you or fit you into precise categories, but they can't, and it's driving them insane. Remember that I am referring to someone you see on a regular basis, and you may already know who it is. If you agree with this, you understand what I mean. You're like a conundrum that no one can figure out, and it's confusing and annoying people. You're not the type of person who simply fits in or is influenced by others. To be liked, you don't change who you are, and that's making them uncomfortable. You are self-assured, confident, and steadfast in your identity. It's not necessary to be part of a group to feel good about yourself, and many find this independence uncomfortable. Then there are people who seem incapable of standing alone and who depend greatly on others. However, you walk into a setting where people aren't in a desperate need to find camaraderie or approval, and it makes them feel insecure. They just don't understand how strong and self-assured you may be by yourself. People frequently sit and wonder, how is this person able to be so independent? How do they maintain their confidence without the assistance of a group? They find it incomprehensible that you may feel secure wherever you are without depending on the approval of numerous people. Furthermore, attempting to fit in by ingratiating yourself with people is not how you enter into partnerships. They find you confused and uneasy, since your confidence and capacity to rely on yourself appear like superpowers they cannot comprehend. It's obvious that your demeanor and presence have enough of an effect to throw them off balance, so keep being who you are. When it comes to building relationships, you take your time. You don't jump to establish personal relationships or engage in in-depth discussions with someone just because you've met them. You think that relationships should develop naturally, rather than being rushed or pressured just because you work together or are in the same setting. Indeed, someone is not always considered a close buddy just because they work together. Your ability to swiftly grasp individuals is acute. You get a sense of someone's actual intentions and the energy they produce right from the early exchanges. Sometimes, especially if something about their behavior appears suspect, a quick conversation is sufficient to help you choose whether to retain a certain distance or to keep the interaction brief. It is a true gift to have this discernment. You are naturally adept at spotting tiny clues and using these to form wise conclusions about other individuals. How you can see through them so easily is a mystery to them. This talent is the result of a deeper connection, a type of spiritual knowledge that they are unable to access. They don't realize how the Holy Spirit gives you a viewpoint and an advantage that they just can't match through your improved intuition. Thanks to the gift of the Holy Spirit, you have a remarkable ability to discern the actual intentions of others. It's like to having an ability that lets you see past people's masks. Even when someone smiles at you, it's easy to see when they have bad intentions. You can tell when something isn't right and are wise enough to avoid blindly trusting them. They find it frustrating that they can't understand or manipulate you, and they're perplexed by your ability to do this. The truth is that you cherish authenticity and kindness. Many people mistake compassion for weakness, thinking you're weak or easily tricked. You're anything from naive, though. Despite your sensitivity, you have the same level of ability to be direct and tough when needed. You don't have to make a scene to establish limits and assert yourself. Since they are unable to classify you as just nice or severe, this balance confounds them. Your personality is a complicated mystery to them. They have a hard time categorizing you as brave or reserved, soft or harsh. Because of your complexity, they have a hard time predicting which side of your personality will come out in any given circumstance. Do you have confidence or are you cautious? Are you assertive or reserved? You are actually a combination of these traits. You have a variety of traits that make you a unique and interesting person as a believer of God. Your confidence remains intact even when you stand out from the crowd. Whether you choose to be silent or speak up, your presence is imposing and will automatically attract attention. They can't understand that you are a multifaceted person at the same time. They are unable to comprehend the spiritual direction you follow. They are even more intrigued and perplexed by you because you prefer to keep your affairs private. They are troubled by the fact that they perceive you as self-assured, multifaceted, and authentic. They don't have the same spiritual awareness or acute insight. Therefore, it annoys them when they can't grasp what motivates you. The fact that you are living as your complex, amazing self overwhelms them. You assume that running your own life is not a public matter, so you don't divulge every personal detail. You believe that God is with you, and you seek guidance from prayer when faced with difficulties. You don't need to announce your problems to everyone because God gives you your path personally. You now know that sharing too much personal information only serves to feed rumors. You decide to pray to God about your worries instead of sharing them with people who might misuse the knowledge because you know that He is there to assist you. You have a strong belief in this method and put your trust in God to handle your concerns. You don't spend your time disclosing every detail of your life only to have it end up being discussed behind your back. You realize it's useless to divulge too much to those who can't help you. You choose to keep your affairs private and let God handle them. Some people find it hard to understand your quiet faith. You give them little information about yourself, leaving them perplexed and attempting to figure you out. They become even more irritated and curious when they discover how little they actually know about you because of your secrecy. They see someone who is adamant about their convictions, who doesn't feel the need to vent or seek validation from others. Your unique religion sets you apart, and it's clear that you rely on God to guide your life. They are perplexed and attempting to figure out who you are, since you wisely keep your private affairs private and only discuss them with God. Similar to Jesus' time on earth, people were always attempting to comprehend Him. Unable to understand what He really was, they gave Him several labels. Was He a prophet, a teacher, or the Messiah? They had a hard time identifying who He really was. You are a child of God, and you are changed when you allow the Holy Spirit to enter your life and try to follow in Jesus' footsteps. God permitted you to go through trials and tribulations, to be persecuted and suffer, in order to shape your character to resemble His own. You adopted Jesus' outlook on life as a result of this journey. After you accepted Him, you started to become more like Him. Just as Jesus' heavenly essence caused Him to be frequently misinterpreted, ostracized, and mysterious, so too do you have that same significant impact. You may accomplish anything with the strength that Christ gives you, since He is the one who fortifies you. This includes receiving additional divine favors, as well as spiritual gifts like discernment. Such deep capacities set you apart and enigmatize folks who cannot understand who you are. But they may also benefit from this incredible power if they accepted the Holy Spirit. They don't comprehend you because they don't have the Holy Spirit, which is the cornerstone of your character and strength. Remember that as a child of God, you are unique and purposefully selected to stand out. Be confident in this reality. Avoid worrying about fitting in with everyone else. Having a small group of close pals is okay. Think of Jesus. He didn't surround Himself with big groups of people. Only those with the proper spirit joined His inner circle after He met His disciples on His journey. Even though they betrayed Him, certain people, like Judas, helped Him accomplish His heavenly mission. Adversity, feeling out of place, and being misunderstood are all experiences that are supposed to help you grow. Your inner light is so captivating that some people may attempt to marginalize you or make you feel like an outcast. They find your brilliance appealing, but they don't understand why they don't have it themselves. Why can't they figure you out? The answer is simple. They fail to see that your vitality and nature come straight from God. The fact that they are not associated with the same divine source leaves them perplexed. I hope you find resonance in this message and that it reaches the people who need it most. Participate in this message if it moves you. Seeing so many lives and emotions touched by these words is a blessing. You are above their small-minded plans. You are all very much loved by me. You can always count on God's presence,